Gentleman yields. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Fox, I just curious, I was listening to your testimony and about Sacco and Vanzetti, or whoever they were, Moore and Mitchell, or...
Moore and Mansell.
Yeah, we have Moore and Mansell. What should have been the crime for cutting that NOAA apparatus apart?
Yeah, so going back to actually the point Congressman Kiley just made is I don't think it should be a crime. I think this is a thing.
Shouldn't it be a crime to cut something that you got nothing to do with? It's not your area of jurisdiction, and to cut it and destroy it?
Well, if they intended to do that, yes. But because they didn't, I think this is sort of a civil issue where I forget the person's name, but the person who had the research project should, take them to court, and they should pay for the loss of the property that was damaged. But I don't think it's the purview of the government to get involved and prosecute them for it. And this goes back to the point of why mens rea matters. If they had gone in there intending to destroy it, yeah, I think that's very different. And then that probably would be appropriate to charge them and convict them with what happened. But that's not the case here. It was a mistake. They thought they were, saving some wildlife, saving some sharks, and inevitably it was not poachers. Just
curious. I looked it up and kind of didn't think it. I think it probably should be some type of offense to destroy something that you really have no jurisdiction, and you don't make yourself the police and you make a mistake. They should have taken a deal or something, but regardless of that. Mr. Tolman, let me ask you a question. Your name was familiar to me, so I Googled it for a long time, and I didn't find any Tolmans that I would have known of. Most of them were scientists and brilliant people like you, but there was a Tolman Hall at Vanderbilt, and I think that's where it came to the back. Do you know Tolman Hall?
I do know the family. I tried to get into Vanderbilt Law School and was not admitted.
It's a good school, and I'm sure
yes.
that doesn't mean anything. They get it, but it's a good school. Overcriminalization. A lot of that is federal Congress people looking for an issue du jour and passing laws that probably should be state laws. Is that not correct?
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, years ago when I was a state senator, there was a group of Congress people that came down to Nashville and all talked about carjacking, and they wanted to make it a federal law, and I suggested that it was more of a state responsibility, and they passed it, some federal law up here. And now, I don't know what it was. I read somewhere there's a new carjacking law being proposed, I think, by Senator Blackburn, and it changes the duty. I mean, the standard that right now you have to have an intent to murder or kill or do great injury to be a federal crime, and now they're reducing it to being, I forget what it is. Do you know what the difference is in this proposed law and the law that exists now?
I have seen that. I think the current carjacking law is an inappropriate federal law. It should be the states. It is their primary role to enforce those laws. And sadly, the carjacking, and I would also say the Hobbs Act cases, which is in essence now the robbery of a Kentucky Fried Chicken, for example. I mean, this is an example of the headline of the day driving the lawmaking and expanding the federal code.
Well, we'll have to look at that when a bill comes before our committee to see how we respond to it, because it's sometimes so easy to jump into something which is really state law.
Yes.
Mr. Fox, I was listening to your testimony. You were talking about respect for the law and all these laws, et cetera. Do you think that the pardoning people that attacked policemen just makes people think less of the law?
Yeah, I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think the federal justice system or even state justice systems really don't work well at all. So there's obviously problems, but blanket pardoning people who violently attack police and try to overthrow the government, yeah, that's wildly inappropriate.
Anybody think it was an appropriate thing to do to pardon all those 1,600 people in mass without going through them case by case? That creates a lot of people thinking it's who you know or what you do, et cetera, and disrespect for the court system, because it was nothing to do with the prosecutors doing wrong or anything like that. It was just a class of people that he decided to do. And then there's been a lot of pardons lately. I don't know if you've kept up with them, but lots of folks in the crypto business who have been convicted, large monetary fines as well as jail time and tremendous amount of restitution, and they've been pardoned. And that's, it happens. It used to be that the presidents had some shame, and even if they gave a pardon to their brother or to somebody that gave them a ton of money, they waited until the last minute and they could get out of town. Now they put it on Truth Social and they parade it around and then they appoint them to be an ambassador somewhere. Thank you. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back.